If someone asked you to describe Maina Kageni today, what would you say? Of course, he's one of the best radio presenters in Kenya. He's also one of the highest paid. He owns many luxury cars and lives the high life. But have you ever heard some of his past stories? If you have, you might just call him one of the biggest simps in Kenyan history. And all because of one woman, Sanaipei Tande. Back in the day, Maina Kageni was obsessed with Sanaipei Tande.
Akaniambia, if you never want to work another day in your life, nizalie mtoto.
I would have been giving you pocket money ya $500,000 a month.
Oh my goodness, you didn't mention that figure.
Na nyumba nzuri, Lavington.
What an offer, right? But believe it or not, Sanaipei Tande declined the offer and ended up friend-zoning Maina Kageni for life. I know some of you ladies are wondering, how can anyone turn down such an offer? Free money for just giving birth. You could even give Maina 20 kids. But here's the thing. Why was Maina willing to pay for something that others are getting for free? Most of your mothers got nothing when they gave birth. But Sanaipei Tande is not your mother, so understand. Back then, she was one of the hottest female artists. Did your mother look like this back in her prime? Anyway, Sanaipei's beauty and talent made her the dream woman for almost every man, including Maina Kageni. So maybe you're asking, why did Sanaipei Tande not give Maina Kageni a chance? Let's find out. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe. Maina Kageni has everything most women dream of. Money and more money, let's be honest. The rest don't even matter. But have you ever wondered, where does all this money come from? Well, let me tell you. Maina's journey to becoming one of Kenya's most respected radio presenters is a story of unexpected success. Unlike most celebrity stories full of struggles and how they suffered in Kariobangi or Kayole, Maina's story is quite the opposite. He comes from a wealthy family. In fact, it's reported that SK Macharia, the founder and chairman of Royal Media Services, is his uncle. Even more fascinating, when Maina's father passed away when he was just 2 years old, he left behind a will. All the properties were transferred to Maina Kageni when he turned 21 years old. So even as a child, Maina was already set for life.
I really didn't have a troubled childhood. I was provided for everything. There is nothing I lacked.
Maina attended Westlands Primary School and later joined Laser Hill Academy for his high school education. After completing his high school education, he was sent to the UK, United Kingdom, to go and study. And this alone proves that Maina didn't come from a struggling background. Maina traveled and arrived in the UK. But for some strange reason, Maina didn't register for college in the UK. He didn't attend any classes, but he sure attended something more exciting. Parties. Alipiga sherehe. After some time, his mother traveled to the UK, expecting to witness his graduation. She got the shock of her life. Her son's name wasn't anywhere on the list of graduates. Furious and deeply disappointed, she warned him never to return to Nairobi, and Maina had to do something to survive. He decided to go and look for a job, and there were odd jobs including working for a Chinese firm as a truck driver and even a fish distributor. This academic failure was just the start of Maina's extraordinary journey to success. Maina Kageni never imagined he'd end up in media. His entry into radio was purely by accident. When he got back to Kenya from the UK in 1996, he adventured in showbiz, bringing in DJs from the UK for events. At the time, Kenya only had 2 radio stations, Capital FM and Metro FM. Maina had organized a DJ event through a company, Godfather Entertainment, and needed a radio advert to promote the event. When he approached a station, a Capital FM, he was told that the voiceover alone would cost 40,000 shillings. Maina didn't have that kind of money, so he decided to record the advert himself. And as fate would have it, his voice caught the attention of Phil Matthews, a Capital FM presenter at that time. Impressed by Maina's delivery, Phil asked Maina if he'd ever considered working in radio.
So we go to pay for the ads. When we pay for the ads, then they say, do you have 40,000? We say 40,000 for what? For the voiceover. They said, what is a voiceover?
I said, you know, an ad is spoken by someone.
Somebody will have to say this.
Somebody will have to say these words. I said, I don't have. Can I do it? So I was told, look, it's your ad. Kama ni mbaya, shauri
yako.
So I did it, and then Phil Matthews asked me, have you ever thought of being in radio? I said, no. Would you like to be in radio?
And just like that, Maina's radio journey began. Looking back, if he had that 40,000 shillings that day, he would have never ended up on radio. Maina began his career at Capital FM before moving to Nation FM, then joined Kiss FM, eventually finding his home at Classic 105. He's now the host of the widely popular show, Classic FM Breakfast Show, Maina and Kageni, one of the most listened to radio shows in Kenya. This success has cemented Maina's position as one of the country's most popular and influential radio presenters. Of course, with such influence comes a good paycheck. It's reported that Maina earns around 1.5 million per month. Now, it's not an official figure. It can be more, it can be less. Maina doesn't talk about it. Interestingly, there's another thing that Maina rarely discusses: his failed music career. At one point, he tried his hand at music and was part of a group called Ebony Affairs with Ted Josiah. However, their song was terrible. Don't bother looking for it, it's nowhere to be found on the internet.
Now your musical career, that's when it started
And ended before it started.
While Maina was struggling making trash music and failing miserably, there was someone doing it effortlessly: Natasha Sanaipei Tande, popularly known as Sana. Born in 1985 in Mombasa, Sanaipei's rise to stardom began in 2004, when at just 19 years old, she joined the Coca-Cola Popstars talent search. Sanaipei's talent was undeniable. She won the competition alongside two other Kenyan contestants, Kevin Waweru and Pamo Ithaka. Together, they formed the band Sema and signed a record deal with Homeboys Radio. In 2005, the group released their first album, Mwewe, which made them famous. They had songs like Leta Wimbo, Sakalakata, and Mwewe. However, the band's success didn't last long. Later in 2005, Sema split up, citing irreconcilable differences and external forces. But for Sanaipei Tande, this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Her solo career took off and she quickly became one of Kenya's most celebrated artists. Over the years, she made big songs, including Getikali featuring Juakali, Mulika Mwizi, Kwaheri, Mfalme wa Mapenzi, Simama Imara, and many more. Interestingly, like Maina Kageni, Sanaipei Tande also ventured into radio. After Sema broke up, the late Chris Kirubi, owner of Capital FM, saw her potential and asked the former East Not Homework presenter Eve D'Souza to train Sanaipei Tande as a radio host. However, despite the training, she was never hired, reportedly because she didn't have the signature Capital FM accent.
I basically was told that I did not have the Capital accent. Yeah.
Soon after a short time at Capital FM, Sanaipei Tande joined Kiss 100 and later moved to Easy FM, now Nation FM, where she co-hosted the Drive Show with Edward Kwach. At some point, she also hosted the Mid-Morning Show, which went on to become the highest-rated mid-morning show on Kenyan radio. But even being the best wasn't good enough. In September 2015, Sanaipei Tande, along with fellow presenters Shiro Muriuki and Antonio Sol, were fired. The news caused an uproar on social media, with listeners demanding her reinstatement. They were like, you can fire the other two, we care less, but please bring back Sanaipei Tande. But the boss or whoever was in charge never listened. Anyway, after leaving Nation FM, Sanaipei Tande shifted her focus to other ventures, including music, hosting events, and even acting. Yes, Sanaipei Tande is also an actress, and she's featured in several popular shows like Vashita, Aziza, Kina, and there's a new show called Kashmani. And this just shows how talented Sanaipei Tande is. And talent is not the only thing we can say that she has. There's beauty. Sanaipei Tande was hot, and even today she's hot. And this is why Maina Kageni wanted Sanaipei Tande so badly. No one exactly knows when these two met, but many believe it happened in the 2000s. At the time, Sanaipei was shifting from the music career with Sema to starting a journey in radio. Their first interactions probably were work-related, But what may have started as a professional admiration quickly turned into something more. Maina has always been very open about his admiration for Sanaipei Tande. He often praises her beauty and talent, even calling her his crush on several occasions. Sanaipei later said that they met when she started working at Kiss 100, and it's at that particular time that Maina offered Sanaipei Tande a deal that sounded more like a joke than a serious proposal.
Hiyo time nilipojoin Kiss 100 hata sijapewa kipindi changu mwenyewe. Akaniambia if you never want to work another day in your life, nizalie mtoto.
Imagine being a young, ambitious artist struggling to make a name for yourself in a competitive industry, only to be approached with an offer to be financially supported for life, with the only condition being to have someone's child. Is that kind of proposal that many would find hard to reject. Years later, Maina shared more details about this offer. He revealed that if Sanaipei had agreed, he would have given her a monthly allowance of, just imagine, 500,000 Kenyan shillings and a mansion in Lavington, Nairobi.
I would have been giving you pocket money ya $500,000 a month.
Oh my goodness, you didn't mention that figure.
Na nyumba nzuri, Lavington.
Sanaipei, however, turned down the offer, and for good reasons. Turning down someone like Maina Kageni was no small decision. Anyway, why did Sanaipei Tande say no to Maina Kageni? Remember, Sanaipei wasn't just any artist. She was a determined woman with a mission. After winning the Coca-Cola Popstars competition, her focus was on building a music career. She wanted to make a name for herself, not as someone's wife, but as Sanaipei Tande, the artist, the brand, and also the boss. Getting married or starting a family at that stage in her life could have slowed her progress, and she wasn't willing to take that risk. In an interview with Churchill, Sanaipei opened about why she declined that offer. And according to Sanaipei, she was young, around 21 or 22. So why was this man, Maina, talking about making her a mother? Sanaipei said that accepting Maina's offer would mean sacrificing her own ambitions. She also emphasized that money doesn't control her. In another interview, she said that just because someone wants you, it doesn't mean you want them back, and nothing, no amount of money can change that.
Wajua, just because mtu amekutongoza haimaanishi useme yes. Lazima iwe mumependana, you are attracted to each other, munaelewana, unanielewa. Kwa hivyo si ati mtu amekuja akakutongoza ukakataa ikawa sasa makosa. Si huwa mtufanya hivyo.
Sanaipei has always been about independence, standing on her own. She never needed a man to define her success. Throughout her career, she's spoken about how women shouldn't be defined by their relationships or marital status. Saying yes to Maina might have made people think that she was using his fame, and that's not the image Sanaipei Tande wants to project. Maina, for his part, didn't seem to be bothered by the rejection. In fact, he often laughs about it, saying that Sanaipei's honesty is one of the reasons he still admires her today. Really, it sounds like inauma lakini inabidi uzoe. Some saw his efforts as romantic, while others thought it was kind of harassment or just a publicity stunt. And was Maina really in love with Sanaipei Tande, or was he just pretending to get attention and publicity? Maina Kageni is mainly known for his work in media, where his job is to entertain, create excitement, and keep listeners engaged. His pursuit of Sanaipei Tande was a perfect story for his show. It had drama, romance, and kept people talking. By making it public, Maina made sure that the story stayed in the spotlight. Every time he talked about Sanaipei Tande on air, it created new headlines, keeping both of them in the public eye. In this way, Maina's actions could be seen as a smart move for building his personal brand and staying relevant, especially to a young audience. But that's just a speculation. Maybe he was serious. Is the offer still available? No one knows. Time has passed and people's tastes and preferences change. Perhaps Maina has moved on or found a new crush. No one knows for sure, as Maina rarely discusses his personal life. But what's public is that he doesn't believe in marriage. He loves women, but thinks marriage is too much work.
It looks like a lot of work. It looks like too much work.
He values his freedom and enjoys the ability to do whatever he wants at any given moment.
Another thing that I've realized is very valuable is freedom. But you can't have too much of that in a relationship.
So if you can't persevere and you love your freedom too much, we kaa peke yako. By the way, musisumbuane na mtu. Perseverance and freedom. If you don't have perseverance and you love your freedom, gonna have a problem.
There have been stories about Maina having an alleged baby mama, but he has never confirmed these rumors. So again, it's all just speculation. Just like Maina, Sanaipei Tande also values her privacy and rarely discusses about her relationships or family.
Jihusisheni na mambo ninayoweka hadharani. Mambo ninayoweka hadharani ni uigizaji na muziki. Yale mengine wachaneni nayo. Okay.
Unfortunately, she has faced criticism from some Kenyans who claim that she is getting old and should consider getting married or having children.
Shaona matusi kwenye Twitter. Shosh. Kila kitu. Nakuambia social media ataka yani uwe na ngozi nyingine ngumu sana.
In an interview with Lynn Ngugi, Sanaipei spoke out against the pressure placed on women to have the children. She emphasized that marriage should not be seen as an achievement and that people should move on at their own pace. She also made it clear that marriage and children are not for everyone.
You know, it saddens me to see that there are people out there who still look at marriage as an achievement or look at marriage as like the end goal in life. You were put on this earth to get married, get children, and now you're complete.
Sanaipei added that just because she doesn't post or talk about her personal life doesn't mean she isn't married or doesn't have a baby. Maybe she does and maybe she doesn't.
Hey, who knows? Because I don't talk about my personal life.
Yes. Maybe
it is. Maybe it is. Maybe there's a baby. Maybe, hey, and
Today, both Maina and Sanaipei are doing well. Maina is still the king of radio, and his radio show, Maina and Kageni, is still doing great. Meanwhile, Sanaipei Tande is doing amazing in music and acting, showing that turning down that offer didn't stop her from shining. Even though Maina's proposal was rejected and he got friend-zoned for life, there's no bad blood between them. Maina still admires Sanaipei Tande, and Sanaipei respects Maina's contributions to the media. Let me know what you think about this story. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and also subscribe. Let's meet in the next video.